Hello, my friend. The top of the hour, and it is time for another day of coaching. Woo! So we're having so much fun doing this. I love it. I love the questions that I get. I love how many people get to watch them, and they come back and they ask me like super good questions by what we're talking about. Okay, and um and today is super fun because today we are talking about work and how to want what we want in our work. All right. And we've moved from developing the capacity to have what we have. And this week, all we're focusing on is wanting what we want, because next week we are going to talk about how to get from here to there. So if you have what you have and you want what you want, then what we're going to do next week is we're going to talk about how to make change in your life and how to declare your results, right? Yeah, and how to go out and then like get them right, because that's really what we're talking about, right? It's like creating results, creating results in your life and understanding that that is what you are here to be doing, right? And like life is more fun when you allow yourself to like be bold about what you want. Okay. And I mean, I can't, I think that's one of the tricks that I have about the things that I have in my life, and people saying, oh my God, Michelle, I don't understand how you do it all. I do it all because I'm super bold. I ask of the universe, and when I'm willing to be uncomfortable to go out and get. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that in 2 weeks. All right, but I'm like super okay with deciding that I want what I want and going out and getting it. Okay, and that means a lot of different things. And one of the things that I have been thinking about for a couple of days now is, in terms of wanting what I want and going out and getting it, what result, what's the big thing that gets me? And it gets me freedom. You know? And I mean, I mean, I don't mean freedom like, I'm an American and I'm free, because I am, and I put on a uniform to help make that a reality, right? But in like emotional freedom, and like life is just easier now that I know how to manage my brain. I fall asleep easier, like my days are easier. It's like it's all easier. And that's a lot of freedom. And when I talk to my clients, I talk about the freedom that I provide them. And we have freedom that comes in managing your mind about creating wealth, about creating community, and about creating compliance. And for kind of more general life coaching, it's freedom that lies at the intersection of creating the health that you want, which is why I talk about alcohol and weight, talking the freedom that comes from relationships that you want, and the freedom that comes from the wealth that you want, right? And all of it really kind of starts with wanting. Okay, wanting those things in your life is really the first step to going out and getting them, and then wanting the stuff that you have. Okay, so I mean, there are a lot of cracks in our society um, that are being revealed through coronavirus. It is very, very obvious that most Americans don't have the capacity to live without two paychecks. Okay. We don't have the capacity around our government. We don't have the capacity around our public health. And these are conversations that we get to have, okay, but we as a society have not learned how to develop those capacities, and we totally could. We've just chosen not to, right? And so when it looks like, I want you to like narrow that stuff down, and I want you to ask yourself about what capacities you could totally develop. It's just that you haven't wanted to. And maybe you haven't wanted to because you didn't know to ask. I mean, how many clients do I talk to that they don't even know how to build a strong foundation because they've never really asked about it, okay? Because we're given these things about how to build a strong foundation around your work life, and they sound a lot like go to college and get a job. Find a mentor. Like, that's my favorite. Like, find a mentor. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Like, find a mentor. What good does, I mean, I have so many people who are like, I'd be happy to mentor you. And I'm like, okay. And I tell people I'm happy to mentor them. And then I try and like actually have a mentorship conversation. And they're like, no, 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 that looks too much like work. And I'm like, all right. Right. But wanting what you want when it comes to work, and I think that has a lot to do with wanting what you want when it comes to wealth. Okay, and I know we talk about money um, tomorrow and the next day, Thursday and Friday, incoming and outgoing money, but looking at wanting what you want at work in terms of health, wealth, and relationships might be a very interesting thing to look at. So when it comes to a work environment, what do you want? You want to probably be paid well for the time that you are spent concentrating on work and not concentrating on your family, or your hobbies or other things that you do, right? You probably want a reasonably good work environment where expectations are clear and people are kind to each other. I was just before I got on here, I was looking at some of the Facebook posts of veterinarians that I know, and they are doing their level best right now. And people are like furious at them around curbside service and just taking out all of their anger at these poor customer service reps and vet techs and veterinarians who are, I mean, guys, we're kind of doing the best we can, right? But when we're all so um, anxious and in pain around our work environments, because it just it makes everybody behave like really kind of badly, okay? Because if we look at those clients that are being so terrible to my friends, if they were honest about what they wanted, they would not be directing all of their ire at their veterinarian. I mean, everybody loves veterinarians, right? And so then what happens is that, like my friends are trying to run places where people might want to work. Say you're the CEO of a company, one of the things and one of the things I'm working with people on is what does it look like when you reopen? And what does it look like to be a place where people might actually want to work? And we all want to work in places where our contributions are considered and we feel like we're doing meaningful stuff and helping people, okay? How much time do you spend when you think about work wanting the things that you want around work? And I'm not going to lie, for veterinarians, it's probably a lot easier than for most people because what we want at work is to like heal animals or work with farmers or any of the things. It's pretty cut and dry for the most part, even with a weird veterinarian like me. It's pretty cut and dry for the most part what we do, right? And but I think that you all could think that same way about your own work. I mean, I talked to my brother, and to me, his job is pretty cut and dry, even if it takes a little bit to comprehend. Right? And all of my friends, I mean, their work is, while it's complex, it's not. It's pretty cut and dry about what their work actually is most of the time. And for most of us, there's like that 10% of the time where we're like, yeah, hell, I don't know what my work is, right? You know, And so when we look at health, wealth, and relationships at work, what does that actually look like? And what does it look like to actually want to develop freedom for yourself at work? What would that look like? And if you wanted that, and how does that actually feel? Because when I work with my clients about that, it feels really pretty amazing when you put on a hat and say, oh, wait, I could feel free at work. I could feel free because I understand my expectations and I know what I'm doing and I understand that I'm trading time for money and I've decided to do it here at this spot and not keep deciding it, because that's where you get to be miserable at work, right? Is when we're keeping redeciding, or, you know, in terms of compliance where we keep reinventing the wheel, or in terms of your schedule where you keep reinventing the wheel. Like the same problems always kind of keep cropping up. And so what does it look like to want what you want at work? And so in preparation for this, I decided that I was going to take you through like a live fire exercise like I've been doing, right? And I came up with a thought to test, and I'm going to walk through testing this work thought, okay? This is an entrepreneurial thought. I'm not going to lie. I'm an entrepreneur. We're a weird bunch, okay? But you could do this with any thought that you have at work. And here's what I decided, okay? So I'm going after a particular result on signing clients, okay? And I am super excited to figure out if I can like meet my goal around signing clients and like tolerate the discomfort for the next 11 days to sign the number of clients that I want to sign. I'm super excited about testing myself this way. And I was thinking on a coaching call with my coach about what that actually looked like. And the thought that I came up with that I'm going to test on this call is I can do works to sign clients. Okay? I can do what works to sign clients. And when I think the thought, I can do what works, it feels really open, it feels really free, and it feels kind of like in wonder and curiosity. Okay. And so I just want to test that out, and I want to question my brain about wanting that. Okay. That's how we decide whether or not we're going to want what we want. And then we decide we want it and we stop deciding. That's the other part of it is your brain wants to question you, right? And it wants to say, okay, do I really believe my thoughts create my results? What if you just decided your thoughts created your results? And took it from there. Okay. And so if the thought that I am testing is I can do what works to sign clients, my first question for myself is so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through like what I call the water model that I do. Okay. And the first question is how much do I believe this thought that I can do what works to sign clients? Guys, I really fairly much believe that thought, okay? I have been doing what works to sign clients to the tune of several $100,000 every year for lots and lots of years running, okay? And so I do believe that thought, and on a scale of 8 out of 10, or at a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably an 8 out of 10. And I'm not 100% of a 10 because I don't have any evidence right now that I can sign this number of clients that I want to sign. And I'm not gonna lie, I decided I want to sign 6 clients in 11 days. And I've never signed that many clients in 11 days. And so why the hell not? Why the hell not try, right? Because I got so many coaching consult calls coming in and it's amazing. So what does that look like to grow my business like that in the next 11 days? Okay. And the reason I'm not a 10 on my belief around I can do what works to sign clients is because I have no evidence that I can sign 6 clients in 11 days. I have no evidence that I can do that. Okay. And so The question is do I want to think this thought, which is, I can do what works to sign clients. I can do what works to sign clients. Yes, I want to think this thought because I believe my thoughts create my results. And if I do what works to sign clients, I will sign the clients. Okay, so how would I act if I did this? How would I act if I thought this thought that I can do what works? Is I would iterate, right? I would keep trying. I would put adverts out there. I may try another webinar next week. I may hit my list, right? So guys, if you're on my list, look forward to some more emails, right? Sign up for coaching. And then, so how would I act? I would do a lot of different actions and see what works. And if I look inside the truth of my feelings, the T in water, truth of my feelings, what are the positive feelings that this brings up? I'm really sort of curious. I wonder, I'm kind of excited to think about this, and I'm kind of excited to take a deep breath and believe a net into existence, right? Because of no evidence. And we usually, like use evidence as a net for us to catch when we step out onto the ledge, right? And when I think this thought around, I can do what works, my thought's written down over there, which is why I keep looking over there. I can do what works to sign clients. I am super excited about figuring it out. And I also feel super unattached to the outcome because I just realized that I'm going to learn so much whether I sign the clients or not. Okay. And what are the negative thoughts? If because we believe in the 50-50, what are the negative thoughts that are going to come up? I don't have any negative thoughts right now. I know I'm going to have to deal with discomfort. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with discomfort. There you go. And so what evidence am I getting for this? I'm really good at creating results. I'm really good about declaring to the universe what I want to do and how to go out doing it. And believing this feels really, really easy. Like believing this feels super easy that I can go do what works to sign these clients, because I'm already thinking of different ideas about what's going to work and how I'm going to go about doing this. And if I believed this thought, what results would I create? I would create the clients. I would create 6 clients in 11 days. Okay. And that's just one result, right? The other results that I'm going to create, I'm going to make a ton of decisions. I'm going to have a lot of thought work that I'm going to do. I'm going to really work on my energy, because clients come from energy, right? The results that we have at work come from our thoughts, but our thoughts lead to the energy that we have at work. So what does that look like? What does that look like for you in the work that you do? Okay. And so now that's water. That's the water model. What do you want? What actions turn in and tell the truth of your feelings? What evidence and what results? And now we're going to do a strive model on testing this thought. So I want to do what works to sign clients. And my first question in Strive is about safety. And there are 3 safety questions. Am I physically safe to think this thought? And the answer is totally yes. Am I financially safe to think this thought? And the answer is also yes. I am financially safe to think this thought, because I know that when I make these decisions, I will make them. I will make the money. Will it be in 11 days? I don't know, right? I don't know that right now. In 11 days, I'll know that, right? And am I financially safe to do this? Yes, because right now, what I am like telling myself, and I'm telling everybody else, and you heard me say that, it's like now or never. It is now or never for me to go all in on what I believe and what I do and how I am in the world, right? So I am financially safe. And then that's the same thing as being emotionally safe, okay? I always ask myself, am I emotionally safe to think this thought? And what I'm really coming up with as I sit here and ask myself this question in front of you is I'm afraid of being humiliated. I'm afraid of being humiliated. I'm afraid I'm going to come back to you, right, with the results. And I will do this. So in 2 weeks, which is more than 11 days. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to do, like, I will do this and I will come back to you with a report next week on Wednesday and the week after that on Wednesday on how I did. Okay. And everything that I learned, and you can just follow along with what I'm doing. Okay. I am creating the emotional safety to do that because I have decided all of you are super interested in that and all of you are cheering for me and you want me to create that result. Okay. And that lessens the fear of being humiliated. Okay, we all fear humiliation, right? But again, humiliation doesn't kill you and it doesn't kill me. All right, and I can talk about fear and shame and humiliation and vulnerability and all of that sort of stuff because I talk about them all the time. And like you can get used to talking about that sort of stuff to where it doesn't mean anything, okay? So am I trained to think the thought, I can do what it takes to sign clients? I can do what works to sign clients? The answer is no, I'm not trained to think that thought. I am training myself. Part of the next 11 days is training myself to think this thought. Do I respect myself enough to think this thought? Do I respect the clients? And the answer is hell yeah. I know there are people out there who are looking for the freedom that I offer in marrying up wealth, community, and compliance. I absolutely know that. Okay. Have I invested the time and talent and treasure to believe this thought? I am doing it like right now. I actually will ask myself all of these questions. I will do after action reports and ask myself about my days and my consults and how everything went. And learn and iterate and invest the time and talent and treasure to believe this thought, right? And then do I believe it? Hell yes, I value believing this thought. I value believing this thought so hard that with no net, I'm coming here on a Facebook Live and telling you about it because I value the thought processes that I go through to build my business and to be the person that I want to be in the world so highly that I teach them to other people. Right? And then am I empowered to stand in fear and discomfort and failure to believe this thought? Right? I am willing to get up here and declare to you, I'm willing to fail. If you are willing to fail, you can have anything that you want at work. All right, you can have anything you want in your whole entire life. I am super willing to fail about all the things in my life. Okay. So then so that's the Strive model. And then if I look around, what do I observe about myself when I believe this thought that I can do what works to sign clients? I observe that I go get coaching. I observe that I actually know what I'm going to do when I'm going to go ask my own coach about creating this result. And I'm going to write to her every day and I am just going to work it. And I'm super curious to figure out what that's going to look like. Okay. When I observe myself, I look at the energy that I'm in right now and I'm pretty happy and I'm pretty excited and I'm pretty curious as to what's going to happen, right? And what does my integrity tell me if I believe this thought? I'm not going to lie. My integrity tells me that if I can sign 6 clients in 11 days and do anything, right? I can do anything. If I'm willing to come in front of my whole entire audience of people who watch this, I'm willing to do anything. Okay. And then the G in light is, does this thought feel gentle? So here I am. I can do what works to sign clients. Does that thought feel gentle? And I know that's a goofy question, but it really does feel gentle to me. It feels gentle because I'm not beating the tar out of myself when I think this thought, I'm looking inside myself and I'm not feeling the cheerleader come up and the willpower and the, okay, we're going to do this, Michelle. Right? Because I've tried that to sign clients, it does not work. Okay. So then is this thought helpful? Well, I'm really figuring that out. Is this a helpful thought for me to think? And I really do think that this is a helpful thought. And one of the things that I'm looking at is other, so I ask myself questions about, are my thoughts helpful? And one of the reasons that I'm here able to think this thought is because I have other super helpful thoughts. Like I can develop the capability to want what I want, right? I know I can develop that capability. I don't have to go through all of this because I believe that 100%. I know that's a thought that serves me. So is believing this thought helpful? Yeah, because it's like the next step for me to want what I want at work. Okay. And then does believing this thought create trust and credibility and connection with myself and others? Well, signing clients, frankly, is all about creating connection. Getting sales is all about creating connection. It's about coaching courageously and being super powerful and really within myself around all of my thoughts and being super upfront with people and going all in on their transformation. And when you're all in on serving somebody else at the highest level, no matter what the outcome is, that really is how you build connection with other people. And I love that. I love how that feels. And I love creating that level of connection with people, whether it's through Facebook advertisements or hitting my list or doing another webinar or whatever it is, right? I really, really love that. And I'm super excited to go out and create that connection because I do truly love that connection. When I love you at the end of these lives, I really mean it. It's a super big privilege to be in a work environment that I have created where of all these people who watch these and who tune in and who ask me, who like come to me with questions. And it is my privilege to be in love around that because my purpose in life, guys, like I spend a lot of time thinking about purpose. I tend to think about this in the last quarter of the year. So it's been about 6 months since I did all of this thought work because I create this purpose for like a year. I live a year in a particular purpose and I see how it works, right? Because change takes time, right? And my purpose is leadership through love. And one of the things that leadership through love has created is all of these lives, guys. It's like showing up every day at noon, Tuesday through Sunday, and 12:30 on Mondays to be in service to my people, whoever is out there who needs this during this time. And that's a hell of a privilege. It is a hell of a privilege that I get to do this, right? And that I get to love on people through a computer for half an hour every day. And I love it so much. Okay. And I do it because I learned that I want to grow my business through love. I want to be in love with my clients, in love with myself, in love with the results that we create. And I just want to be in love as I lead people to the freedom that they seek when they decide to marry up, creating wealth, creating community, and creating compliance. Like, wow, what a privilege. So, what does it look like for you to want what you want? I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to your questions and I will see you tomorrow. And we are going to dive into wanting what you want when it comes to incoming money, my friends. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.